Hi, and welcome to the first Composer Studio video demonstration. If you've recently downloaded Composer Pro, then you probably have access to the sample books as well. This tutorial will be done using a football story, so we can go ahead and open that up. And specifically, this tutorial will be walking you through how to add audio using our two different audio systems. If you're not familiar with our old audio system, I'll briefly walk you through how it works. Old audio is located under the Effects menu, the button in the top right-hand corner with the lightning bolt. As you can see, a drop-down menu will appear and you can select Audio, Add Audio, and import files from either iTunes or Dropbox. And so I went ahead and downloaded two files that are .mp3. And typically I use .mp3 for my audio files because it's a lot smaller and easier to work with than other file types like .wav. So let's go ahead and open one of those up, and it takes you to the old audio version. So the important thing about using the old audio system is that you can place sounds on different channels. This means that you can make two sounds play simultaneously on different channels. And you can select from channel 1 to 15. The reason that you might do this is, for example, on this page, you want the Kids in the Park background sound to play simultaneously with the football story narration. This can come in handy in a lot of different situations. So you can also select the type of audio you want, and you can select between music, effects, and speech. And this will come in handy later on when you're setting functions to the entire book. So typically I set speech, all my narration to speech, and this is good because if you want to mute all speech for the book, you can select that function for the menu object and it will mute all the narration, which is also a very handy function. So basically that's the old audio system. The new audio system in Composer Pro is accessed through the Add menu and is called On-Page Audio. So the Add menu is a plus symbol in the top, and it brings down the drop-down menu, which is the same place you add animations, movies, and images from. So you can now add audio objects. If you select audio, you can import files again from either iTunes or Dropbox. And let's go ahead and just open one that I already have, Boy Running. And as you can see, an audio object, or a gray square with a speaker symbol, will appear in the top left-hand corner of your workbench. So if you want to select that, it acts like an image object, but it is not an image object and it's not a button. It will not appear when you go into preview mode. It will simply play the audio.
A Football Story by Richard Torrey.
So you can basically, audio objects work similarly to images in that you can edit them through the inspector menu. And the inspector menu is at the top with the eye, has a drop-down menu. Again, you can arrange the position and size of your audio object, but that won't matter because it won't appear in preview. The main thing to keep in mind is the audio properties. And so you can change the file from either iTunes or Dropbox, but let's keep that the same. You can turn autoplay on or off. Select the type, again, music, effects, or speech. Select the number of loops. And the important thing is that you can end on page turn. And this seems like common sense, but our old audio system did not allow this. If you wanted to make a sound stop when you advanced to the next page, you had to create another separate behavior for the audio that said end audio on page turn. So if you didn't do this, the audio, for example, on the narration of page 1 would continue on to page 2 if you turn the page in the middle of the narration until that file had finished playing. Now you don't really need to worry about that, especially because end on page turn is the default setting. If you do want a sound to play continuously throughout the book, for example, background music that's played on a loop that you want to continue through page turns, then You can easily switch this setting off. This one. Easily switch this setting off, and the music will continue even when you turn the pages. So another helpful function is on index shown pause. And this basically means that if you open the index page located here, the index page is basically a layer that will appear over your story that most people use just like the table of contents. And it's a layer that appears over your place in the story, so if you go to the index, you want your audio and narration to pause so you don't lose or miss important parts of the story. So that's another great feature added in audio objects. So audio is also, for both audio systems, are affected the same way. So typically, if you want audio to be linked to a character, for example, the little boy patting the ball, you will use the image as a trigger. So this little boy is a trigger that says, if user touch begins, then play animation normal speed and play audio instantly for ball pat sound. So if we want to take a look at what that looks like, open it up in preview mode,
This is my football.
Hear the narration, and you touch the boy, and hear the pat sound. So that's about it. Thanks so much.